Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Back here with the final update on the Ecto-1A Fantasy. You guys can see the car is done, and it's this one in the foreground. I have the regular Ecto-1A in the background there, because we'll do a little bit of comparisons. A couple things that I kind of went back and forth with on this car was you guys can see I do have the siren back in place. I actually originally had all this arranged for where the red Mars light was over here, and then the warning beacon was back in the center. I ended up switching that stuff kind of back, just because I wanted to keep the overall look of the 1A rack and some of the details. And then also you guys will notice that I don't have a ladder here. That was something I talked about, and I actually had it installed on the car, everything in place, and it just was really busy in this area. You guys can see I have added this antenna back, and you can also see I don't have a lot of room for the ladder. Now the ladder did fit here, but it was right up against this hose, and I barely had enough room to open the door. The door would clear, but it was very tight, because on the old version there, those blue hoses are actually back a space, because this line isn't here. So some of that's shifted around a bit, and it doesn't really give the ladder a whole lot of room. So I decided to do away with the ladder, kind of give it a little bit more of the original 1A look. But as far as this side goes, we have like I said, I did add the antenna back on here. You guys see the new lower height of or the new lower style of those marquee boards on the sides. Didn't really change too much to the rack from what I did on the last upgrade, but you guys can see I do have the siren back on there. I think that looks really nice. That's a nice touch. And then on this side we have this hose back on there. The original version of the 1A does not have that, so it's fairly clean on the back. No antenna on that side either, just, you know, the hose coming from the upper tank there. One of the biggest things on this car though is the gunner seat, and we'll do a little comparisons of them both here. So you guys know on the original 1A the door opens like normal, and then we have the jump seat, which you guys can see right there, and then I have the ghost trap kind of laying on the floor there, and of course the computer is in there with the gurney and the packs. Now on this one I have the suicide door, which opens like that, and then you guys can see in there I have the gunner seat, slides out, flips around, and there you go. So another improvement that I made was I went and upgraded the gun ends here to match the ones that are on the proton packs there, and I did that on the Afterlife and Frozen Empire versions too. So all the seats have guns that match the ones on the packs now. So that was a little improvement that we did. You guys can see I still have a little bit of floor room in there for the ghost trap. Ghost trap is exactly the same build, nothing new there, but it is nice having that little bit in the floor there to hold that. And like I said, you know, you guys got to see when I was building this, I could not include that spring piston anymore to help kind of swivel and lock the seat, because it would have interfered too much with the computer space. But I can comfortably fit the computer, the gurney, and the gunner seat all in there, so there's a lot going on the inside of this car. And it's pretty cool. I think it looks really awesome having the gunner seat on the 1A chassis. Just put the ghost trap back in there for now. Try to. But you guys can see I got plenty of room to just kind of stow it in the floor there. The door closes just like on the other ones. I kind of have that fitment issue right here, but at the same time, it does help kind of lock the door in place. But it is a little tight on the roof. But that's how the other cars. That's how the other cars are too. So not much I can really do for a fix on that other than completely raising the roof, which I don't want to do that. So, other than that, there really wasn't too much. It was just a lot of subtleties on this. Like I said, it looked cool with the ladder on there, but it was just way too much going on. And like I said, I didn't like how close it was to the door. It was really close. The door, like I said, this door barely cleared the ladder because it was shifted so far over. And normally, even with the hoses in their normal position or in the kind of older position, the ladder was still fairly close to this. So shifting it over a whole brick, a 1x1 spot, really made that area tight. I kind of had to refigure out how to attach the ladder because these interfered with the clips that held the bottom of the ladder. When I had it on hooked up top here, I did have to extend the ladder out a little bit. Even with doing the prototypical lower profile of those marquee boards, the ladder was still not able to sit up against there enough, or close enough to attach like normal. So the ladder was kicked out slightly, but it looked okay angle-wise. It was just, like I said, it looked too busy here, and I didn't really like it that much. So kind of last minute, between taking the ladder off and kind of switching some of that stuff back, kind of brought it back a little bit more to the original appearance, just like on this car here. Front ends, there's nothing changed on the front ends other than when you're looking at these cars from the front here, the siren up top and then that hose coming off the back. So really the only differences that you can really notice quickly. You might not notice the door handles in a different position right away, but you know, if you do take a view from this angle here, you guys can see we have the normal doors on the original 1A and then the suicide door on the Fantasy 1A. Both of these cars and all the other cars have been upgraded with the skinnier tires. I think those look way better. They fit the car a lot better. These older, or the thicker style tires that were on there were just way too big. It almost made it kind of have an off-road look. So these are a lot more of a prototypical size. And that was another upgrade that I made to all the cars. All the cars have those better looking, kind of a normal size tire on it. So that was a good upgrade for all the cars, but especially I didn't have to change any of the shafts or any of the axles, so that was really nice. Was able to use existing axles. You guys saw how I modified these moon covers, or these moon caps, to fit on there. Kind of a neat little way to get those to stay on there. But yeah, guys, it was a cool project. Like I said, very subtle. I did want to, I've talked about it before. The 1A is my favorite version of the Ecto-1. I absolutely love all the extra stuff, the extra lights. It's always been my favorite version. Not taking away from the original version, the first time seeing the Ecto-1 was super cool. It was such a crazy car with a lot of stuff going on. But then once the second movie came out and we got to see this beast, really brought the car into a whole new light. So, this is definitely my favorite version. So I definitely wanted to do a spin-off and kind of go into the future, like I've talked about in the past. Why did I do this car? Because I kind of wanted to fill the gap, the really big gap in between Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife. So I wanted to integrate something on this car that led it to how it was in the Afterlife version. So the gunner seat was a must, and then like I said, I did want to add a few more things that kind of brought the rack detail back. And I did on just a few spots, literally like 3 spots, just that hose, the siren, and then the antenna on the other side. That's the only exterior things that I changed and decided to keep when I finally got the car done. I just had a chance to kind of look it over and really think about, am I really happy with how that looks? Because I did, like I said, I wanted to keep that 1A look. I didn't want to change it too much, so I kept it really, really subtle. And I think these cars look awesome side by side. It's almost the same car, super close, but with one very large difference with that gunner seat in there now. So this leads me to my next project. I'm gonna do a step past this car. Now that's all I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll do a little talking video next on what the next car is going to be. We do have another Ecto-1 project, so Ghostbuster fans, be excited for that. But I am going a step past this. Now, if you can think of what that is, you know what I'm going to do. And if you don't know what that is, I'll let you know in the next video. But as far as I'm concerned, the 1A Fantasy is done. I love how it looks. Like I said, I wanted to keep it very similar, just with a couple changes on the outside, and really went back and forth with ideas, because I was gonna do some bigger changes to the rack, and even before I started building the car, I kind of took a step back from that, because I did still want to keep that 1A look. I wanted it to be very, very specific, just with a few minor altercations, and I feel like this looks pretty believable. I feel like in once they kind of got past, let's say in the fake world there, past the movie, where they got big again, they got a lot of business again, things were good for a while. They needed a mobile way to catch ghosts, so the gunner seat just seemed like a thing that would have been done early on after the movie. Bringing back some of the key details, like the siren, the iconic siren back up top, and just kind of slowly edging it towards the Afterlife version. So I think it's a success. For me personally, it is. I like it. Not everybody's going to understand why I did the Fantasy 1A, but I've explained it enough to, tell you guys the story of where in time this car would exist in my mind. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all the updates on it. I did my best to do a little bit more thorough job, actually do some tutorials on some of the details. Like I said, I will be doing more tutorials when we get to the next car. So if you guys want to see something that's not too crazy, I don't want to make like a 3-hour video of me building something. But like I said, I will do the normal style light rack, or the light bar. Viewer a little while back had asked me to do a tutorial on that, so I will definitely do that. And like I said before, if you don't want to hear me talk and watch me build through all that, it is in the mock instructions on Rebrickable. So if you guys just want to go on there and see it, like I've said in the past, that's a free mock. And you guys can download the instructions for free. You guys can get the parts list for free. It's all free on there, so it's really nice and easy to get. So, but yeah, I love seeing both of these side by side. It's really kind of wild to see such a over-the-top car and see two of them. So definitely a neat, fun project. You know, leading into this, fixing a few things kind of brought me back to this, fixing a few things, and so it's nice. I feel like every time I work on one of these cars, I kind of evolve in the detail and the really small stuff. Because you guys know I'm picky. You guys have seen it in my videos. I love trying to make these cars as correct as possible. These cars specifically, minus the logos, because I have yet to find somebody to custom print parts for me. But as far as just a lot of the rack details and interior details and stuff like that, you guys know I've taken a lot of time to study photos. I've paused the movie about 100 times just to make sure I'm getting things proportioned as good as I can within the realm of Lego. So, but yeah, that's it for this, guys. The Fantasy 1A done deal. It's gonna have to find a spot somewhere. I'm trying to move some things around and take care of some stuff so I can get all these cars together. So, but yeah, like I said, next video I will be talking about the next Ecto project. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. And until next time, take care.